Okay, rotor is similar to the three-phase induction motors rotor. As like the three-phase induction motor, same rotor can be used in the single phase, but size might be different. Or type of this rotor is a squirrel cage type. Okay, stator is made of silicon steel stamping, having an internal slot to receive the stator windings. Okay, so stator have a slots in the outer periphery. Okay, so if you never seen the how stator is look like, then google it. Google it like stator of the single phase या three phase induction motor. Okay, so you can see the what is the how it will construct and how winding is placed in the slots. Okay, the rotating part fitted on the shaft is called rotor. Okay, it is a cylindrical structure made of silicon steel stamping, having a rotor slots on the periphery to receive the round rotor conducts. Okay, so this is the intro about the rotor. What is the rotor? Rotating parts. Okay, how it is made and how how the slots are constructed and how windings are put into it. Okay, so rotor conductors are short by the short circuiting rings. Okay, why this is short circuit? Because we don't want we do not want to this because if we not short, then current is not flowing in it. Okay, so you will further whenever you encounter with the stator or rotor construction, you will see what is the necessity of the short circuit. Okay, so you can see this is the construction of stator and rotor. Normal pictorial view of the stator and rotor. Outer periphery is a stator. In stator core, there are slots. In slots, there are winding is placed in it. Then we have a air gap. Okay, this air gap ranges in the millimeter. Okay, now it is very small. Here you can see the sorry, air gap is quite large, but this air gap is so small, you can not see properly by your eyes. It is in a millimeter. Okay, or why this air gap is necessary? Because we have a stator part which is stationary, and we have a rotor part. Okay, which is a rotating part. So we have to provide some millimeter gap, so that rotor can easily move or rotor can easily rotate. Okay, on its shaft. Okay, so rotor has slots, and in its slots there are windings. Okay, rotor conductors. So this is the construction of single phase induction motor. Shaft is supported in the bearings and free to rotate in the space of stator. Okay, there is the uniform air gap between stator and rotor. When single phase supply is connected to the stator winding, it carries alternating current and produces pulsating flux. Okay, this is the main important point. When we provide the single phase supply to the stator winding, then it will produce the pulsating flux. Okay, not the rotating flux. Okay, so this is the main difference between the three phase and single phase induction motor. This flux is not rotating flux. Okay, as it was in a three phase induction motor. Hence the rotor does not rotate on switching on the supply. So if you switch on the supply for the induction motor, so it cannot start rotating. Why? Because here we didn't add any starting winding. Okay, so single phase induction motor is not self start, just like the three phase induction motor. In three phase induction motor, it is a self starting motor. Okay, so thus this motor is not self start. To make the motor self start, some additional winding or pole shading is required. So this is the important statement whenever you in future anyone ask what is the why this single phase induction motor is not self start, then one particular thing you have to say, that in single phase motor there is no rotating flux produced in the stator winding. Okay, so whenever you encounter with this question, first mention this point in your statement that single phase induction motor does not produce the rotating magnetic flux in stator, just like the three phase induction motor. In three phase induction motor we have the three phase winding, so we can produce the rotating magnetic flux, but in single phase motor we don't have three phase induction, a three phase winding, so we cannot produce this rotating flux. Okay, so how now how we can make this single phase induction motor self start. Okay, so before this we studied one theory which is called the cross field theory. Okay, so this is a very important theory. A single phase induction motor having a stator slot winding and squirrel cage rotor winding. AC supply is switch on instantaneous polarities. Okay, so you have to now see this figure. In this figure, when we switch on the supply, we think one instantaneous condition in which upper terminal is minus and lower terminal is plus. Okay, so don't confuse with the DC. This is not a DC supply. We assume that in AC supply we have a positive and negative half cycle. Okay, so you all know that during the positive half cycle we have a polarity plus or minus, and in a negative half cycle we have a polarity minus and plus. Okay, so we assume that one half cycle, okay, in one half cycle there is a minus or plus polarity. Okay, so we assume this for purpose of study how this field is created and how force is exerted in the motor. Okay, so we assume that one polarity minus and plus. Okay, so you can see here there are many conductors in this stator. First of all you see only this outer part. In outer part you can see the one or one dash. In front of one you can see the one dash, and in front of two you can see the outside opposite side two dash. Okay, or in opposite side of three you can see the three dash. Okay, so what is this one and one dash and two dash and three dash? Okay, so one is a first part. मतलब in winding you have a two part. One part is starting, you start the winding, then this is a front part, then you have a back side. मतलब your conductor is going to back side in another slot, so one conductor is a one slot, then this conductor going into another slot, so we named at a one dash. Okay, so if we assume the polarity of conductor 1 is a plus. Okay, so we assume the one dash polarity is a dot. Okay, so same other conductors are marked like the one. Okay, so what is this plus and dot? Okay, so what is this plus? Okay, so whenever the you already study the Faraday's laws and how electromagnetic theories and all, so in that subject you see that the whenever the flux coming out from the surface, okay, so you mark it like dot, and when flux is entered into the surface then you mark it like a plus. Okay, so at standstill this flux phi s, what is the phi s? Phi s is the stator flux, induces an EMF in the rotor winding by the principle of electromagnetic induction, just similar to transformer. Okay, when rotor is given initial rotation. Okay, so here up to now we don't have any rotation. Okay, in induced EMF produce current in this rotor winding as rotor winding is shorted. Okay, so previously I said already why this rotor winding is short circuited. So this is the purpose of winding short circuit, and the induced EMF producing the produce so we give the supply to stator. The stator produce the flux. This flux is cut by the rotor conductor. Okay, so in rotor conductor it induce the flux. Okay, so due to this EMF induced in the rotor, currents is start flowing. But if we don't short circuit these windings, then current will not flow, because current always flow when path is closed. Okay, so this is the rule for the flow of current. Okay, so whenever this winding is short circuited, current is start flowing. Okay, but no torque is produced because rotor flux is along the same direct horizontal axis. So here, when rotor and stator flux are both present, but both are in the same direction, phi s and phi r both have a in a horizontal axis. So here we don't see any torque because both the flux are in the same direction. Okay, so no torque is developed, motor will not start. So this is the reason why a single phase induction motor is not self start. Now due to rotation of rotor conductors, okay, so now we give the initial rotation. Okay, we give the initial rotation in a clockwise direction. Now due to the rotation of rotor conductor in the stator field, rotational EMF is induced in the rotor winding. Okay, so this is the dynamically induced EMF. For in first part, we can say in the starting, when we don't apply any initial rotation, then at that time statical EMF is induced in the rotor. Okay, mark my words, statically induced EMF is induced in the stator, in the rotor. But when we give the initial torque, or when we give the initial rotation to this motor, dynamically induced EMF is induced in the rotor winding. Okay, so the direction is induced EMF is shown by this dot and plus in the rotor conductors. Okay, the direction of EMF plus on the one side of vertical axis and dot on the other side of vertical axis. Okay, so as the rotor circuit is complete, okay, rotor component current comes in the play. So rotor EMF wave whose axis is displaced by the 90-degree than the stator axis. So now we have a two flux phi s and phi r, which is apart 90-degree, or near 90, or 90 less than 90, or above the 90, but not in exact same direction, not in the 0 degree, not it is a 0 degree. Okay, so due to this, frequency of rotor induced EMF is high. As frequency is high, rotor reluctance is also high. Okay, rotor current lags the rotor induced by EMF by 90-degree. Okay, so the field produced by the rotor current phi r is shown, and therefore it phi s and phi r both have an angle 90-degree apart from 90-degree each other. Okay, the stator flux phi s and phi r are in a space and time quadrature. Okay, the resultant field due to the phi s and phi r is a rotating revolving field. Okay, which rotates in the same direction in which rotor has initially given external rotation. Okay, so this is the also this point is marking point. The resultant field due to phi s and phi r is a rotating field which rotates in the same direction in which the rotor was initially given the external rotation. So if we give the external rotation clockwise, then this rotating field is also developed in the clockwise. If we give it in anti-clockwise, then it will produce in the anti-clockwise direction. Okay, so torque should produce either unidirectional in the same direction of rotating field. So in whatever the field, whatever the direction of this rotating field, torque follow this rotation direction. Okay, once the rotating field is produced, rotor continues to rotate in the same direction. Not that magnitude of component rotor field depends upon the speed. Okay, so here also speed factor, just like the three-phase induction motor. So we have a speed ns. Okay, so this is the summary point. At standstill, we don't have any rotating flux, we have only steady state flux. So phi s and phi r along the same axis, but when we give this initial rotation, then we have a two flux which apart from each other 90 degree, okay, quadrature. Both these fluxes are in the time and space quadrature. Then these two fluxes result in a rotating flux. Due to rotating flux, motor continues to rotate, okay. The magnitude of rotating field is a variable. So this is the also one differentiate point from the three phase induction motor. In three phase induction motor, magnitude of rotating field is a constant, but here is a variable, okay. So this is the end of the lecture. We see what we'll see. We see the sorry we studied we have studied cross field theory, okay. So remember, this is a cross field theory. In upcoming lecture we see the doubled field revolving theory, okay. So this is also very very important question for your G2 exam. So in next lecture we will see the double field revolving theory. So up to this lecture, if you have any type of query related to video, related to content, or any subject related, then you can comment down in the comment box, okay. Thank you.